through the misty fells, where the lake winds cry, with a map in hand and a twinkle in his eye. The hills echo steps of a wandering soul. A silver fox grins as he reaches his goal.
Time has come, start of the Affric Kintail Way. Being joined by this man here, Mossy, Walking Wild Camping UK, so go and check his videos out. So yeah, we've got 46 to 50 mile ahead of us. We're here, started here in Drumnadrochit, and our first day takes us to Cannich, and then over the next 3 days we follow Glen Affric into Glen Licht, eventually finishing at Morvich on Friday afternoon sometime. So this is the official start at the Loch Ness Visitor Centre in Drumnadrochit. So we'll get going and I'll catch you in a bit.
Look at this big moor.
So from the start of the visitor centre, turn right onto the main road for a couple of 100 yards, then you come to a crossroad where there's a field full of those highland coos that you've just seen. So turn right there and then just follow the track up and follow the signs. So it's good to finally get out walking. This has been in the planning for 6 months and it's finally great to get actually out on the trail. So that's us out of the town now and into the woods. Now our first sighting of Loch Ness and Urquhart Bay. You can't quite see the castle. The castle's round the corner. Yeah, we're into this lovely bit of woodland. I've seen these on other people's videos. These are boards and information boards, so you lift them up and it tells you, oh, that's the answer. We'll read the question first, shall we? Question: how do wood ants protect their nests? And the answer is, wood ants can spray formic acid. It smells like vinegar up to 12 inches their own length to keep predators away. The dirty bastards. Right, what we got here? Bumblebee. How do bees recognise each other? Answer on the back. Bumblebees have smelly feet to identify themselves in each other. Ah, Now that's how I knew I was in the room with Mossy this morning, because he's got smelly feet. I'll talk to you about our accommodation last night in a bit. Brilliant.
That's quite confusing.
Do not underestimate this first couple of miles of this trail. Man alive, it's steep. The camera doesn't do it justice. I think we're getting to what looks like the top at the moment, hopefully, but you never know. So we've come out of the forest and we've levelled up a bit, still on this great forestry track, but the views are starting to open up now in the distance. We can start to see larger mountains, and some of them have still got remnants of snow on, but this is cracking walking. It's not a breath of wind, and we've actually de-road. We started in full waterproofs because it was raining not long before we left, but it's not now. Not a breath of wind, and it was getting really warm, so we were cooking in them waterproofs. So that's it, we're back to normal trousers and t-shirt, but it is May after all. So that's us on our way down now, looking like we're going back into the woodland. That's a big feature of this first leg, is plenty of woodland walking, but on really good forestry tracks. So there's nothing tough about it. You just,
I don't know,
bimble along.
There was a steep drag.
There was a steep pull, but then there was also a steep downhill, so it gives and it takes.
The trail giveth, the trail taketh away.
So there we go, got out of the woods now and the views open up again. Absolutely stunning down into the valley. I think this is actually Glen Urquhart, but I'm sure some of my Scottish brethrens watching will tell me if it isn't. But again, into the distance, the high mountains, and we can see our tracks skirting round the hillside. Absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. So yeah, all these trees down does look a bit of a mess, but it gives us these fantastic views. Right, so we've been talking about mileage. I don't know whether you've noticed, but we did the Cumbria Way, which was supposedly officially 72 mile. That turned in at about 80. We did the West Highland Way that turned in at about 104 when it's supposedly officially 96. So this officially is 46 mile, but I'll be very surprised if it doesn't touch the 50 mile mark. So I don't know whether any of you watching that have done these long distance trails and had the same issue, but I don't know how they work the mileage out, but it's not the same system I use.
It must just go in a very straight line.
Yeah, they must use very straight lines. Okay, so bless you. We're 5 mile in. We've come to a car park on the trail, just near the village of Balnain. So it's a parking area, some benches. So we're going to have a sit down here, a drink, some Tangtastics, and have a break for 20 minutes because we're 5 mile in, as I said, and we're only been going just over 2 hours, so got plenty of time. So let's have a decent break. Okay, so that's us back on our way for a quick 15 minutes break for some sweets and a bit of water, and then it's back on this excellent path. Okay, so our second lock of this trail. After a brief glimpse of Loch Ness, we can now see Loch Meekley over there, a few farm yard there and some farmhouses down there, Still a stunning day. Still shirts off weather. Shirts on weather, but jackets off weather, should I say. Yeah, Loch Meekly. Absolutely beautiful. So I've seen bits online about people skipping this first section between Drumnadrochit and Cannich because it's boring. It's just same old track through trees. But for me, if you like walking, this has been fantastic. Easy walking, nothing too strenuous. And what's not beautiful about woodlands? Fantastic.
Beautiful first 5 miles.
So don't skip out this first bit if you're thinking of doing the Affric Kintail Way and starting Cannich. Do start in Drumnadrochit. Make sure you do the full trail.
Yeah, because if you do skip it, you haven't done the trail. Don't be telling people you have.
So if you are following the route on the Harvey maps, it does look on this section like you're literally in the wood all the time, but there are these huge areas of deforestation where all the trees are gone, so you do get views. There you are, as I see the other end of Loch Meekly, and for now, blue sky. I don't know whether that came across on camera, but sounds like we've been followed by a cuckoo for the last 2 miles. Not that one. So, for the first time in a long time, we come to a signpost and we're not going straight on. We're actually chucking a right. Down there. Lead on, driver. So, won't be long before, since leaving Drumnadrochit, we reach our first bit of civilization. A small, tiny little hamlet of Shenval. Now, I don't think there's much on offer there in terms of getting anything to eat or drink. I think it's literally just a few houses, but we'll see, but I don't think so. So here we are in the tiny little hamlet of Shenval. Just a little hamlet with some houses. There's no amenities here. I didn't think there was, but what a beautiful place to call your home. Absolutely stunning. So that's it, through Shenval you come up across the main road and it's straight over just where them people are. Over the road and hook an immediate right through the forest where we've walked this morning. As I say, we zigzag down through Shenval, over the road, and we're now on this lovely cinder track. So we're just shy of 10 mile, 4 hours 20 minutes, and we found these logs, so we're going to stop in here and have a lunch. Dinner. Lunch is far too posh for us. So I'll have dinner, steak pie and millionaire shortbread, and enjoy these vistas. Fan-bloody-tastic.
Back in town.
When you see it, you'll never look at a bottle of smart water again in the same way. there we go. We've had about 15-minute break. It's amazing. It's chill in the air, so it gets quite cool when you stop. So quick, you've seen pie and millionaire shortbread quaffed, and we're now back on the trail. Jacket's on because we had a little brief hail shower for about 5 minutes, but as I say, it's cooled down a bit once as soon as we stopped, so we'll keep the jacket on for 20 minutes, get that body temperature warmed up, and if the sun comes out again, jacket will be off. But we're still on this forestry track, which is making walking very, very easy and enjoyable, I would say. I think these are the famous ancient Caledonian Scottish pines that Glen Affric and this area is famed for. And you can see the beautiful trees, absolutely stunning. And then if you look straight ahead, beyond those three people in front of us, there's the big mountains that were far away not a few hours ago. They're starting to get ever closer. So in my limited knowledge of the Scottish hills, but I do look at the maps, I think those are the Glen Affric Munros, of which I've done 2 of them. Anyway, we'll talk about that further on the trail. And then behind these trees, which are at the moment I think are the Malardock Munros. It's absolutely beautiful. So we're off forestry track and we're onto just a normal path, really. Stony path. Yeah. And we've got about 3.5 miles to go, so we should be at camp for about 4 o'clock, we think. Out the woods to the main road, and then we hang a right here, and we've got a little bit of road walking, but not so much. You can see the people ahead there where they've come off. So yeah, maybe a few 100 yards. Over the river, over the bridge, over the river, across the road and through this gate. And I think this is the new bit of path that I've seen on some people's videos that replaces the road walking that you used to have to do. Oh, there we go, look, yeah, new Affric Kintail Way. So you used to have to continue up the road, but now they've made us this, cheers mate, they've made us this lovely track. So I have a feeling the last 2-3 miles into Cannich are going to be some lovely countryside walking. Back in the countryside now, I've been in the forest for a while. So it's looking like, yeah, farmland all around us now. Just saying to Mossy how it's amazing how you can just crunch out the miles without even realising it when it's been such easy walking underfoot. There's been no difficult terrain today. Some wonderful forestry, and now we've got some beautiful countryside before getting into Cannich and arriving at the campsite. Okay, so we crossed that bridge, or just before we crossed that bridge we had a quick water stop. One thing I would say on this first leg that we've noticed and probably underestimated, we thought there'd be water on tap. There's very few opportunities for water. Unfortunately the Scottish water tap at the start was bust, and that's where we were hoping to fill our bottles. But anyway, we couldn't, but we thought, oh, there'll be loads of places, and there simply isn't. So I will make sure you've got plenty of water for this first stage, because you will need it. It's a long stage, and there isn't many places to get it, so just be warned. The camera just does not do this justice. What we're seeing with our own eyes is just phenomenal. On the camera it won't look anything, I appreciate that, but the views, as I say, I think there's Glen Affric and the Glen Affric Munros, and I think, as I said, correct me if I'm wrong any Scottish viewers, but they're the Mullardock Munros, but the view is just outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And it's just like Mossy says, it just gives you that glimpse of what's to come over the next 2 or 3 days. So yeah, just brilliant. It's been a great day's walking. We're nearly there now, about just over a mile to the campsite, so I'm really looking forward to getting these packs off for the last time today and getting the tents pitched, and then getting down for, I'm gasping for a can of fizzy pop, as I say, because of the water situation. So yeah, let's get to the campsite and let's get that tent pitched. But look at these views, absolutely stunning. Track, and if you look at the map and you think, oh shit, we've gone wrong here, keep going and eventually you'll come up to this track off to the right, and it is signposted, so you can't miss it there. Look, this takes us back, heading down towards the village. So here we are, the end of day one on the Affric Kintail Way, Cannich Caravan and Camping Park. So that's 16 mile and 7 hours on the go, but we've made it. So I'll bring you back when we get the tent pitched up, and you can see it pitched in all its glory for the first night on the Affric Kintail Way. Okay, after a brew and a bit of a chat, there we go, there's the tent all pitched and ready for the first night on the Affric Kintail Way. So I'm pleased with that. So we're at, as you've seen, Cannich campsite, fantastic, £14 I think it was each, superb, lovely woods, pitches over in them woods that we could have gone in. Anywhere around here, over there in the trees, there's benches around. Anyway, we decided to go as near as we can to the toilet block and the shower block because we're sensible. So that's it for day one. What I'll do is I'll show you map time now, and then we'll see you tomorrow morning for day two. Right, stay tuned for map time and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so that's me all nice and showered. Right, so as promised, I'll just give you a bit of map time and show you the detail on the map of where we've been today. So we started here in Drumnadrochit about 8:20, and then we come out of Drumnadrochit. Now this bit here is quite gradually steep, but lovely walking, absolutely really walking. And then you come up here, and then once you get onto the main forestry track, it's kind of steady away really. There's some ups and downs, but nothing major. And then eventually, just before we get to Loch Ness, we stopped and had a break there, 2 hours 20 minutes in after 5 miles, so we stopped and had a break there. That's where we had a drink and some Haribos. And then again it was easy walking really along this path, and then it steady away, and then it zigzagged down, and that's where we came into that wonderful village of Shenval. And from Shenval you cross the across the main road there, and then this bit here is steep, but it's steady steep, so it doesn't, you don't really notice that you're going up, because it's just gradual over a long distance. And then we got to the high point, and that's there where we had our steak pie and millionaire shortbread, and that was about 1 o'clock, round about 10 mile in, just shy of 10 mile. And then from there it was downhill all the way. This is where the mountains started to come into view, and then we had that tiny little bit of road walking there, you can see, and then it was the countryside really, and then back into the woods. I say woods, obviously, like you've seen on the video, it was all deforested really, so although it looks like you're in woods on the map, you aren't really, or you are, but then obviously you get the views where they've chopped the trees down, you get the views out. And then it was just steady away through, down, and then down to Bridge Corner there, just outside the village, and then it's just a short jaunt up the road to Cannich. So yeah, and we got here about 4 o'clock, so that's 7 hours walking. So yeah, so 7 hours walking, 16 mile. So we're off down to the Affric bus bar to get a couple of pints and something to eat, and then we'll be retiring to bed. So thanks for watching, if indeed you still are, fair play to you, and I will see you in the morning for day 2 on the Affric Kintail Way. Take care.